Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the week of March 15th through the 21st. And now things are starting to really get interesting this month because now we're in the eclipse season. And this is the day, March 15th, that Mercury turns retrograde. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. But before I go there, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. And while you're there signing up for my free newsletter, I know you're going to want to check out my Patreon page, which is a spiritual community. Be part of this group and meet with me every week. And also, I have to remind everyone what I'm doing here is I'm looking at where all the planets are sidereally from the moon, and these are the true placements of where the planets are. And I am a Vedic astrologer that practices sidereal astrology. So with that, I'm going to be gauging everything from the moon in the sky where all the planets are. And this is really important because what you're going to find is this is how the masses, the people, everyone behaves. But like I said, do remember, if you want all of this personally for your own chart, you're going to want to sign up for my Galactic Planner, because my Galactic Planner takes your chart and figures all of these planets, but what it means personally for you. So go to galacticplanner.com and let's continue on digging in here, because we are looking at where all these planets are March 15th, but I'm also talking about Central Standard Time. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so please gauge your appreciation or your focus according to your own time zone relative from what time it is for you, while it's my time here in Dallas, Texas. And let me know where you're from down in the comments. It's fun to know where everybody's from. And one of these days, maybe I'll figure out a way to gauge it more for other longitudes and latitudes around the world. So March 15th, it's a Saturday. The moon is in Virgo. And it is in the nakshatra called Hasta. Hasta means to grasp, to hold on. It is a hand. And this is an intense and powerful nakshatra for the moon to be in. And we are looking at the moon. This is right after the full moon. So we have the sun and the moon opposed each other from Virgo Pisces. And you know, with the sun going into Pisces right now, my God, it's coming together with Rahu. And we're getting close to the end of the month when we have a solar eclipse that is going to be so intense. I'm telling you, things are going to really heat up this month. But it's really kind of starting now. And the moon being with Ketu can represent a sense that there's something about losses going on. There's a loss, a feeling of loss and problems. And another thing that's happening around this time there's going to be Saturn and Uranus are at the last degrees of their signs, and Saturn's aspecting Uranus. Something heavy is about to happen. I'm telling you, this is really intense right now. And Mercury's retrograde. Right now, it's at 15 degrees of Pisces, retrograde, and it's been dancing back and forth with Venus. They come together, they'll come together more, and they're actually in what's called a planetary war. They're both fighting for attention. Now, Mercury rules how we think, travel, how we connect to other people, and with it being debilitated and retrograde, it's messed up. So there is so much deception, deceit, denial, confusion going on right now in the world, and here comes the sun to trip it all off even more. This will be a very, very eventful month, I'm telling you. Things are about to change and nothing will be the same. So let's move to the very next day, which we are looking at March 16th. And we have the moon is still in Virgo, but around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, the moon will move into Libra. So half of the day it's in Virgo and the other half it will be in Libra. But being in Virgo, 29 degrees from where I'm looking at, around 2:30 in the afternoon, Central Standard Time. The moon is in the nakshatra called Chitra. Chitra's ruled by Mars. It's intense. And what I'm looking at is still this opposition between the moon with all these planets and Pisces. Let me just say this. Pisces can deal with compassion and appreciation, but it can also be a victim. So people are playing the victim. There's all these scenarios playing out around the world with poor, pitiful me kind of stuff going on. Maybe they have a legitimate reason to be a victim, but this is like intense emotional things are going on around the world with this Mercury retrograde and Venus. And the sun is about to converge with Rahu. And the sun represents world leadership, leaders around the world. Rahu is so intense, and there is all sorts of, I want to say, conspiracy theories, lies, deception, all sorts of things going on, and no one can really believe the truth. This is really what's happening right now. So Chitra is actually a very strong nakshatra, and it deals with action. And it's also called the gem. It's beauty, it's intense, it's powerful, but by 3 p.m., the moon will be in Libra. Now let's go to Monday, March 17th, and we have the moon is in Libra, and it will shift into the nakshatra called Swati. And Swati deals with communications and passing on information. It deals with trying to bring people together. And I think it's going to be really hard to bring people together around this time because there is so much going on. Today, March 17th, we have the sun conjunct Rahu. There is something radical happening in the world with a leader. I don't know if it's like someone is being attacked or there's problems, blow-ups, major things are occurring today and onward. Let me just say this whole month, but expect the unexpected as well, especially since Uranus is about to change signs. And when it does, it's right now at the last and final degree and second of the sign. So there's a big switcheroo about to happen around this time. And the moon is coming up to face off in opposition with Uranus. This is intense. This is really emotional stuff going on. Every day there's something going on. So let's take it to March 18th when we have the moon will still be in Libra, but now it's moved up into the nakshatra called Vishaka. Vishaka really is, its symbol is a triumphal archway. So this nakshatra is bound and determined to get what it wants. Let me just say that. Even though it's in the more agreeable sign of Libra, there's a portion of the zodiac where Vishaka is in Scorpio, and that's more intense. But today we have it in Libra, in Vishaka. And looking at this, there is a lot of things that aren't congruent about today and yesterday, the day before. I'll tell you why. All these planets, Rahu, Sun, Neptune, Venus, and Mercury being retrograde, are in the 6th house from the moon. And the 6th house deals with enemies and fighting and just discord all around. This is a difficult time and period. Now the moon is facing off in an opposition today with Uranus, which means expect the unexpected. Expect emotional outbursts and problems going on worldwide. This is a critical day for change. As well as we come into March 18th, but the 19th is actually where Uranus will have shifted into Taurus. Now I have that it actually did on the 18th, must have happened really late in the evening Central Standard Time. So around, March 18th, 19th, Uranus shifts into the sign of Taurus. And this is going to bring up a lot of things that are unexpected, crazy happenings, because Uranus is getting ready to align with that fixed star Agal, which is the most demonic fixed star. Now that is not going to happen exactly this month, but it is going to be happening within the next few months. So look out, I got lots to prepare you guys for. Now, with Uranus, it is still opposed the moon because today we have the moon move into Scorpio. Now, let me remind everyone, the moon's worst place it can be in is Scorpio. It's its debilitation sign. So this is where the moon becomes weak. People aren't reacting in the way that they should emotionally with a debilitated moon. But at least we are getting an aspect from Jupiter. But the fact that the moon and Uranus are opposed to each other from Scorpio Taurus, this represents sudden unexpected events. This is very detrimental. This is the craziest time of what I'm seeing. And looking at this moon, I do love Jupiter aspecting it. So it is kind of, there are some good things about today. And when I think of the moon being in Scorpio, all those planets in Pisces, Sun, Rahu, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, they are in the 5th house from the moon, which is very auspicious. Auspicious means good. So it's a good day for investing, investments, holdings with your money and things of that nature. It's not necessarily a very good day for you to do changes within your house because Saturn's in the 4th from the moon, or to be looking for a move with real estate. That's not a good day for that. Now Mars does go to the 8th house, which I don't particularly care for. The 8th house can deal with a lot of deep underhanded things dealing with corruption and crime and secrets. So things are, not on the up and up. There's a few good things I like about today, but there's other bad things about the day. Just remember, a day is not just good or bad. It's mixed. It can be good for some things, but not for others. It's like, you may get a raise with your job or advancement in your career, but somebody in your family could be sick. So that's what I mean. It's a mixture of things going on today. There's some deep currents of underhanded things that are about to come out. And maybe that is a good thing because the truth is coming out. Now I'm looking at Thursday, March 20th. And of course, I'm talking about Central Standard Time here in Dallas. The moon is in Scorpio, and it's moved up into the nakshatra called Jyesta. And Jyesta deals with deep, dark things. It is part of the last part of the sign of Scorpio, which deals specifically with, I want to say, well, it does deal with jealousy. So rest assured, there may be people that are jealous of you. There's problems going on. And yeah, there is a lot to be discovered. And looking at where the sun is, the sun has just crossed over Neptune. So actually it is on the 19th that the sun is exactly conjunct Neptune, but part of this day it's still within a degree of Neptune. So there is great deception in this world with world leaders around the world. We are not getting the entire truth on things, guys. We cannot be. The sun represents leadership and presidents around the world. I'm not just talking about one country, but there is some deception going on about them. With them, maybe about them, but nothing's clear right now. It just seems like we've got these opposing parties that everyone's talking about each other, and it's not good. We don't know what to believe anymore. You know, I just can't, I don't know why everything is so confusing. With Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, the sun conjunct Neptune, and just crossed over Rahu, the extremes are outrageous. And looking at this still with the moon being in the nakshatra Jyesta, which Jyesta can deal with dark things. And it is in the last degrees of Scorpio that Jyesta exists, all the way through the sign of Scorpio, which is in the tail of the scorpion, which can also mean poisonous things in the air and in the water. Be aware that that's what, you know, Scorpio has the poison and the stinger. It's not a good time. The moon being debilitated, even though it is opposed Jupiter, could be a good day for relationships and love. But yes, it would be good for that. But be leery of people talking behind your backs and jealous people. So now I am looking at March 21st, which with this day, I am looking at, you know what? This is intense because the moon will be Gandanta. This is around 3 p.m., right before it changes, and it will be even Gandanta in the early degrees of Sagittarius. Gandanta is when a planet is in the last few degrees of a water sign and the very first 2 degrees of a fire sign. And it means people are pretty much out of control during this time. I'm looking at about 3:30 p.m. Dallas Central Standard Time, and the moon sits at 29 degrees 42 minutes Scorpio. That is as Gandanta as it's going to get. So there is a lot that is hovering underneath the surface. It's dealing with deception, deceit, and problems. And people are out of control right now. Now the sun is approaching retrograde Venus. It's not there yet. But issues around relationships are really difficult. I know after this one day of the moon opposing Jupiter, because Venus is combust the sun and it's retrograde and it's aligning with Neptune. So marriage, relationships, things are rocky right now. Be aware. There can be breakups in many relationships. I bet on the news you're going to hear about a lot of divorce going on this month. I promise you there's too much being dug up from the past, and people are starting to realize they don't know the person that they're in a relationship with. Now let me just say this. If you are in a relationship that is on rocky ground, on thin ice, it may not make it because so much is coming up. So much is coming up. But if your relationship is on firm, solid ground, you'll get through this. But everyone's kind of questioning things coming around relationships and partnerships. Remember, this can even be talking about business partners, but be leery and be aware. So this pretty much covers my third week. And remember, though, I do want to add this on Friday the 21st, when the moon does shift around 3:30, let's say 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, it's going to go into Sagittarius, and then we have a whole different energy dealing with. Halfway through the day, Sagittarius will be a much added relief from Scorpio, but we are still dealing with all the things that we're about to contend with this being in the middle of this eclipse season. Expect the unexpected for the rest of this month. So I will see you soon talking about the last week, which will be the grand finale for the month of March. So with that, I'll close. Remember, if you want to learn more about me, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. And if you want to study with me, go to my university website, which is universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.